As we kick off 2026, the local labor market is undergoing one of its most radical transformations in decades. According to the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report, nearly 39% of core skills required across global industries are expected to change by 2030. Here at home, recent study shows that more organizations and recruiters are actually prioritizing skills first hiring over the traditional degree based requirements. Hello and welcome to Business World B-Side. This is Erika Sinaking, and in this episode, we are graced by Tina Sioson. She is a seasoned human capital consultant, a former vice president for human resources at Globe Telecom, and the current president of the International Coaching Federation, or ICF Philippines. And drawing from her decades of experience, Tina Sioson joins us to unpack the shift redefining or what it truly means for Filipinos to be job ready in today's workforce. Hi, Coach Tina. Thank you so
Hi,
much for.
Erika.
And I want to dive straight in because a lot of people are starting the year and thinking seriously about their careers. Now, Coach Tina, looking back at last year, 2025, what honestly surprised you the most about Filipinos who were job hunting or trying to move up? Was there a strength you noticed, or maybe a skill or a mindset that stood out?
Figure the way I can answer that, Erica, is let me give you the global trend and then I'll zero in on how we are as Filipinos. Will that be all right? Mm-mm. So I've noticed in the global trend, no, in the global pattern that of course, obviously, the AI, the digitization, the technology, that is bound, no, to happen, and we are all here to adapt to it. But you know what's um, surprising? 2025, and even now, this is continuing. The core human skills are very important for talents who are searching to be employed, no? And when I say core human skills, apart from this is apart from being AI literate, no? Uh, there are four that I'm thinking, or five. Uh, Analytical thinking is very important. Resilience and flexibility is so important for talents, creativity, and leadership. So if I would chunk it, analytical thinking, resilience, and flexibility, it could be grouped together, no? And then creativity and leadership. Yun yung tatlo that I have seen are traits that these are actually traits that cannot be replicated by AI. Sobra. Kaya I call it core human skills, no? And that's what's happening globally, Erica. That's what's happening globally. So ang tanong ngayon, ano yung nangyayari? What's happening locally? Is there any semblance? No? Um,
Mhm.
quite
Now, what do you
frankly,
think, or how do you think the Filipino can cope up with that? Because a lot
mm-mm,
of company they are saying there's a need of upskilling, right? And
mm-mm,
what is
mm-mm.
your take about that?
Oo. So what's so beautiful about Filipinos, and both of us are Filipinos, no, is we do have the hunger for growth. So yung Filipino careerists or job seekers, they really are very active in learning, unlearning, relearning. Ang lakas natin doon compared to other countries. We're very adaptive when it comes to learning. So anong implication no? This is sinare ko sa'yo. What's the implication to what I've shared with you earlier? The key in job seekers is actually how fast they can adapt and how fast they can embrace that skills first Erika, skills first. And we all respect our alma mater, Erika, you and me included. But now it goes beyond certification, it goes beyond diploma, no? Organizations are looking for skills first, and thus careerists must be able to adopt that mindset of the more skills I can bring to the table, the more that I can be relevant to the organization. Is that making sense to you?
Yes, that makes sense. So resiliency and as well as adaptability among others. Now, Coach
Mm-mm.
Tina, on the flip side, based on what
Mm-mm.
you're seeing now, what are some of the red flags that Filipino job seekers are still showing that you feel that really need to stop this year?
Okay. Um, Alam mo, because of the propensity of Filipino job seekers to really be open to learn and unlearn and relearn, I think I can zero in on some red flags on how they apply. Oh my God. I hope I don't get in trouble. Number one, I've seen a lot of talents. They apply based on generic CV, based on generic resume, based on generic letter. Hindi pwedeng ganun. The idea, because organizations look for talents who are responding to their job search. And thus, it is incumbent upon careerists or job seekers to understand, study the organization, that particular position that they are looking for, and reflect that in their CV, no? In their CV and in their cover letter. So that's one red flag. If careerists or job seekers are uh, are sending their CVs that are so generic, that's a red flag. Kasi sayang, magaling naman. People or talents from Filipinos are very good. I'll give you another red flag because recruiters and line leaders doesn't like this. Typo error. Sorry. Typo error, no? Yung
Epic.
carelessness, yung carelessness na, alam mo naman, error lang. Ang simple-simple naman, that's so easy to fix. Have someone proofread your edited CV. Di ba? It's so important. So, that typo error can be alleviated na. So, the other thing is that particular, if there are errors or if there are minsan hindi naman tayo, we're not perfect when it comes to language, right? Or written communication. But you would see it if that CV was prepared well, no? So yung lack of preparation na yan, nararamdaman yan ng recruiters. And you don't want these kinds of talents in your organization. Kasi first impression yan eh, realistically, it's first impression. So, there's another red flag for job seekers. They don't follow up. They wait for the organization to send them updates. No, respectfully follow up because that shows you are very interested. Siguro yung tatlong yon ang red flags. But in terms of mindset skills, I believe in Filipinos eh. So we really have, especially we're fueled by our hunger and thirst for learning. So we really try to learn and relearn. So I have no problem with the mindset. I have problem with how they frame their CV.
Oh, that's very good observations po.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so let's move on to question or the next question. Looking at the employer side, from what you see, Coach Tina, what do you
Mm.
think the companies or the organization are still getting wrong when it comes to hiring or developing a talent?
Mm. Since we are in the topic of talent acquisition, I think what organizations, we're looking at the organization now, di ba? I think what the organization is missing is clear role profile or clear job description. If you launch an unclear job description in the job market, what kind of application will you receive? Diba? So that means it's not very targeted. You don't attract the right talents simply because your job description or what we call role profile is vague. I think that's the first remiss of organization. So be very, very clear. No? If possible, put there your key performance indicators, what are the key result areas of this particular role. No? Second, yung hiring process minsan, I'm not saying all the time, but I've seen organization that their hiring process is equally unclear. And therefore, that turns off some key talents. So remember, the key talents first window towards the culture of the organization is actually recruitment, is actually talent acquisition. So kung hindi maliwanag yung job description, if the job description is not clear and the hiring process is not clear as well, no, that's a red flag. If I'm a job seeker, that's a red flag for me. So how come they're not as organized? So I'll give you another red flag for some organizations. There is clear, this one I really have observed. There is clear misalignment between HR and hiring managers. Kasi magkaiba yung sinasabi nila. They tell the careerist or the job seeker different information with all good intent coming from HR, coming from the hiring manager.
That's an internal view in a company.
Yeah,
That's happening.
that's an internal misalignment, no? Because when you get out there, you represent the organization. You're not HR, you're not a department leader. You are the organization. And the best way that you can do is you and HR are very aligned. Now, because you're gonna be representing to me your own organization and enticing me to join your organization. So those are the three parang red flags that I am seeing.
Okay, so among that red flag sa mga employers, what do you think naman is the easiest fix para naman magkaroon ng hope yung mga Filipino employees or job seekers?
Easiest fix?
Yes?
I think it's just a matter of HR and requisitioning leader to align. They really have to align and structure their talent acquisition process. We're not saying that it has to be rigid. Of course, there would always be exceptions, but exceptions does not become the rule. No, so they're more There's another thing that, but I'm seeing this now coming from 2025, bumababa na to, yung skills-based hiring. I think a lot of organizations are realizing now that it's not only diploma based. Did you graduate from the Big Four? What kind of diploma do you have? Do you have a masteral, a doctorate? No. It's skills based. What skills are you bringing on the table? And skills that are not necessarily related to their original course, but you see how they have expanded their skills. So I think that's still a red flag, but that it's just an amber now. It's no longer red. Orange na lang yan because a lot of organizations are learning skills-based hiring.
Okay. So, an inside look now, like, let's talk about what companies really want. Coach Tina, when you talk to company leaders or decision makers, say, what
Mm-mm,
skills are they actually looking for, especially for the young workforce as we enter
mm-mm,
the 2026?
mm-mm. There are two, and it starts with letter A: authenticity and adaptability. Yung dalawang yon. Authenticity means, especially Gen Zs, no? You don't have to fake it to make it. So tell exactly what you know, what you don't know, where you want to be, what kind of salary you want to achieve. Be very, very upfront, because that's where your authenticity comes from. No, you don't fake it. You don't allow yourself to say what the employer wants to hear. Authenticity, because in the final analysis, that will be checked by the talent acquisition people. They know how to cross validate. No. The other one is adaptability. A lot of organizations look for talent that are adaptable, meaning they if things have if things do not happen the way they have planned it, what is their next wise action? Mabilis, no? These talents are quick to adapt and change when necessary, no? If you know, the best way I can explain this, and I don't know if your viewers are familiar with that. Are you familiar with parkour? Yung game na parkour, di ba? So it's a race, but you have to jump, you have to slide, you have to roll, you have to crawl. No? So that's how adaptability is, and that's how resilience is. No? So you adapt your response based on the environment that you are now open to.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Now, for
Mm-mm.
those who don't know, or for those who might not know, Coach Tina has worked with so many industries and professionals across different industries. And Miss
Mm-mm.
Tina, you also receive a lot of direct messages from people, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so they are asking for career advice and if they want to try to grow or if they are trying to grow. Now, can you share us a bit more about what you do and how you help people and the kind of career questions you're often most asked?
Mm. Thanks. Thanks for that, Erica. So, uh, after I did my early retirement, I retired at 50. So I started my consulting work. So I help organizations now reach their aspiration, move closer to their vision, no, so that it gets to be realized. So I do change management and change readiness workshop, and I do leadership development, no. I am also active in individual one-on-one executive coaching and team coaching. In fact, 2026, I am the president of International Coaching Federation Philippines. So I am an advocate of coaching in the country. I really believe in its power. And I have seen a lot of talents and careerists who became better and transformed out of coaching. Just yesterday, I was reached out to by two talents, Erika, one coming from Dubai and the other one coming from Guam. And they were searching for a coach that they can work with, no, as they journey and become better as leaders. What's so important, and this is no longer surprising me, but I really am in awe of these kinds of talents. They invest in themselves. So these are talents who ask Coach Tina how it is, what's the kind of investment, and they're not being sponsored by their organization. And I really love those kinds of talents. They invest in themselves. So anyway, that's what I do. And you know my email, Erika, no, asktinashoson@gmail.com, no, if there are queries, no, and they can also find me in IG and TikTok, where you found me, Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube. I recently started my podcast, no, because my reels are short. It's just 1 minute. My intention is in 1 minute that talent is able to pick up something. But a lot were asking, where can we find the long form? So now I've started my podcast. It's about 12 minutes, 12 minutes per episode.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Coach Tina. Now, I think a lot
Mm.
of people listening really needed to hear these insights coming directly from you. Now,
Mm.
I want to experience now that kind of career advice. So
Uh-huh.
let's like role play. I'll be the one of those people like asking you for advice, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to hear your answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So, Coach Tina, if someone wants to be a future proof in a company, say,
Mm.
I don't just want to survive, I want to stay relevant, and that's for over the next 5 years. What's the
Mm-mm.
one area of professional development I should start investing in right now?
Mm. So you're asking for an advice, hindi ka nagpapa-coach, no? Because if coaching is the agreement now, I will not provide advice. Advising is not part of coaching. Bawal yan sa coaching. But since you're asking for advice, I will give you uh, a couple of things. Number one, to stay relevant. That's the ano, 'di ba? So you want to stay relevant, learn fast, no? So learn fast, no? So that means open sa learning, buong-buo ang tiwala sa sarili na kaya mong intindihin yan, no? Adapt quickly. Adapt quickly. When I say adapt quickly, if the environment is changing, be mindful and adapt. Be resilient enough, no? Adapt quickly. That's very important. Um, how can you do that? You be open to feedback, because sometimes there are things in the environment that you cannot see. So you seek for feedback coming from people who really care for you. And then siguro, so learn fast, adapt quickly. And siguro my third is take action. No? Take action with full curiosity. This is the problem with some Gen Zs, with all due respect. Uh, they take action, but they're easy to judge themselves. Easy to judge the situation and easy to judge the self. And thus, the taking action goes down. Oh, you take action, so you learn fast, you adapt quickly, you take action, you take action with full curiosity. Kasi pag curiosity ang ginamit mo, you're very open to understand things. Why people reacted that way? Why am I reacting this way? No, without judgment. What kills curiosity, creativity, and everything else that we do is actually our propensity to judge ourselves, to judge others, and to judge the situation. So yun yung wag gagawin. So my advice, job seekers and careerists, learn fast, adapt quickly, and take action. Take action with full curiosity in your heart and mind.
And for more discussions on today's most relevant topics, make sure to follow the Business World podcast on Spotify at Business World B-Side. Thank you for listening.